Today we're going to talk about why not to buy a house. That's right. Why not to buy a house anywhere in southwestern Ontario or Canada for that matter. Hey everyone, it's John Zwart here at Home and Property Real Estate. I'm standing on my front step in front of my house here, and it's January the 19th. 2020, and you may recall, some of you, that last year I shot a video standing here as well, and I talked about the great benefits of the four seasons and living in the winter time here in Canada. And I was really gearing that discussion for my relatives who were spending time during the winter months down south in Florida and other places, and were kind of rubbing the warm weather in our faces and suggesting that it was much better there. And I made the mistake, I have to admit, of suggesting that it was better here, and that to experience the four seasons was really, and the winter, and the cold and the blowing was invigorating, and it was something to celebrate. And I was dead wrong. Those people, my relatives down south, they were right. And I can't believe I actually thought that. And to make matters worse, I sell homes here in Canada, in Ontario, and I think to myself, man, why would anyone want to live here? It's just crazy. Nothing good can come out of 6 months of miserable weather. And, I don't know. So I wanted to set the record straight, and that's why I'm shooting this video. But then after that, I dropped Paul off in Elmira, and I continued on my way home. And my wife actually called me when we were still in Guelph and said, maybe you want to think about staying in Elmira because it's really windy here and it's really quite bad. And I thought, well, we'll see how the drive goes from Guelph to Elmira, and I'll make up my mind then. The drive to Elmira was pristine. It was beautiful. Maybe a little bit of wind, a few little drifts, but really not too bad. But then I make the second leg of the journey, and what happens? I get stuck again. And there were 3 different pickup trucks with people in it that tried to get me out, couldn't get me out, until the 4th one came along, and he had a winch, and he was able to pull me out. And then, to top it all off, I continue on my way home, and I realize that the road that goes to my place is not plowed out. And I thought, I'm not making the same mistake twice. So I ended up sleeping on a couch at a friend's place in Drayton. And, only 10 kilometers from my place, but still, and this is the crap that we have to put up with year after year. And somehow I see it fit to sell you on that vision, on that dream. I'm done. It's crazy. I don't want to do that anymore. Now you may think to yourself, that's an anomaly. That's not normal. And you're right. It is an anomaly. When was the last time that I got stuck in a snowbank? Probably last year. So, it doesn't happen that often, but when it happens, it's a pain. And, the other thing is, just take a look at my driveway here. I don't know if you can see this, but it's nicely cleaned out, and it's a nice, kind of a nice setting. People think, oh wow, you live in a gorgeous location, and everything is pristine and it's nice and clean and white. Perfect. Well, in order to get the driveway this way, I got to get my neighbor with his tractor to blow me out, because there's not a chance that I'm going to be able to shovel this in any reasonable length of time, or even use my own snowblower. It'll take forever. And why put up with that crap when you can go spend time down in the warm south? I get it. Family, I get it. I apologize for being so hard on you before. And another thing, for my neighbor to plow me out, I feel as though that's a bit of an imposition. He does it pro bono. He does it out of the goodness of his heart. And while I appreciate that, there's the law of reciprocity. You feel like doing something back. So, every once in a while, I give him a gift certificate to a nice restaurant. And this year, maybe I'll give him, a couple of tickets to an OHL hockey game or something. And, I'd love to send him to an NHL hockey game. But have you seen the prices of tickets lately, for the Toronto Maple Leafs? It's crazy, and if you go down south, however, if you're down in Tampa, or this winter we're going down to California and we're going to catch a game in Anaheim, and that's like 25, 30 bucks. And well, mind you, it's probably like 200 bucks Canadian, but you get the point. It's a lot cheaper in US dollars. It is not fun living in Canada. And I am done trying to convince people to buy houses in this part of the world. Nuts. If you're thinking about buying a house, you can say to yourself, well, the prices keep going up. And I don't get it. Isn't that crazy? Why would the prices go up? Nuts. So it's gonna crash at some point. I can't see any other way. I mean, forget about the fact that there's all kinds of people that need housing. It doesn't matter. Those people should they got rocks in their head. They should be going down south where it's nice and warm and buying places there for a fraction of the price of buying a house here in Canada. Crazy. Anyway, for all you snowbirds out there, my relatives down south in Florida enjoying the warm sunshine, I get it. Kudos to you. And just because some of us can't see our way clear to doing stuff like that, for 6 months of the year, doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I'm happy for you, and God bless you. And, we'll talk to you again soon. So long. I can't believe it. I told them to not buy houses in Canada. What was I thinking?